What's up, Internet? My name's Nerdy.
And I'm Clarus.
This was the penultimate episode of the Book of Boba Fett. A rose by any other name.
Yeah.
We get Nerdy Nightly?
And we thought we'd share it with you.
That is right. Welcome back to the channel. And I just want to say before we get started that the intro might have seemed a little bit negative, and I'm not negative on this episode at all in terms of it on its own. As a part of the larger story of what's going on, I'm not going to lie. I think Boba Fett has, if it wasn't Star Wars, Boba Fett would be considered a poorly structured television show.
Yep, I agree completely. And that's the thing. We're going to start off and we're going to be very clear. This episode, sorry, I turned that on to make sure that you could call me. I loved the episode.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
By itself, as part of a larger whole, I think you really screwed up.
I don't think they screwed up. I think
this is a mess. This is a mess for people who are not like diehard Star Wars fans, and I think that it's rude to alienate your audience like that.
What do you mean alienate?
Well, people who are going to watch this or like have no idea what's going on.
I don't know. I think that if you watch Mandalorian, you can follow.
If you watch Mandalorian.
Oh, sure. I do think that this is, I almost think they should have called this like The Mandalorian Presents.
Yes.
Like, you know, like.
It should have been connected to The Mandalorian.
More obliquely.
Yes. Yeah. It should be like in the title because right now this is a continuation of The Mandalorian. Boba Fett does not have his own thing, does not have his own show, does not have his own spotlight. Mm-hmm. This is a continuation of Din Djarin's story.
Yeah,
and
Boba Fett, 2 episodes now.
Yeah.
So one episode was like a one-off. Yeah. But I think one of the problems is that you now have to watch Book of Boba Fett to watch Mandalorian. Like, yes. I think that if you're doing like a rewatch.
Yep.
And it's kind of like how if you want to do a rewatch of Clone Wars, you start with Season 2, Episode 16, right? Star Wars keeps doing this thing where if you want to watch it through in the right order, you have to watch a bunch of random things.
Yeah. And that's tough for people who don't have all the time in the world. They just want to kick back and like enjoy something, right?
Yeah.
And I just think that like, I think it's a poor choice, at least to not market them as being like the same thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I don't think that the choices that they're making, well, the Tusken Raider stuff, choices, yeah. I do.
But now I get why they killed them off. There's no room for them in the show because we're not focusing on Tatooine almost, at all, right?
Yeah.
And obviously, like, we do go to Mos Pelagos in this episode, and we did go to Mos Eisley in the last episode, so there is Tatooine in both of these episodes. But weirdly, the Book of Boba Fett has been more the Book of Tatooine than it has been the Book of Boba Fett.
Yeah. Yeah. It's, I don't know. I understand what they're trying to do and like creative. No. Like the creative choices that they're making in this, I just wish that they'd let people know. Like I don't think that I
don't think that letting people know would have made the structure of this show stronger. Like, I don't think if I'd went in knowing that we were going to detour into Din's storyline so hard, I would have been like, no, that makes the show structurally better because I knew. No, I think the structural issues with the show are still...
They're still there, yeah. Like you said, if this was just a season of television by itself, it would not be good. If it was not Star Wars.
Just because, like, I'm not really sure at this point what Boba Fett's role is in the finale of his own show, right?
Neither.
And
like, why does he matter?
I was really on board with like the direction they were headed with Boba Fett, right? Like other than the off-screen killing of the Tuskens, which we've had our problems with.
Yeah.
In that episode, we've talked about it. We don't need to talk about it again.
Yep.
The direction of our protagonist of the Book of Boba Fett just seems kind of meandering and like caught between what other people are choosing to do.
Yep.
And it doesn't feel like he gets to be very active. And
no, especially because half of his stuff was flashbacks.
Yeah. And so now we finally got past the flashbacks where he was fully healed and ready to go do stuff. And then in the moment where he's finally healed and ready to go do stuff, the show just kind of is like, all right, we got Boba Fett to the point we needed to get him to for the finale. We're going to dip for the back half of the season, right? Like, and I don't know. I'm excited for the finale. I think there's going to be really cool stuff in the finale. But in terms of telling a story about Boba Fett, I think that the show has not done a great job of that. Mm-hmm. And in doing a story about is continuing season 2 of The Mandalorian, it hasn't done a great job of that. Mm-hmm. Everything is just kind of muddled here. And the problem with that is that it's all great. Like, the individual pieces are all so fantastic. Yeah. The things that happen in this episode. We get Luke training Grogu. We get Ahsoka and Din having a conversation about whether or not he should have Grogu. Mm-hmm. We get the spider ant droids building the Jedi Temple. We get Grogu having to choose between Mandalorian armor and a lightsaber. We get, Cobb Vanth back, and we get the introduction of Cad Bane, and we get all of these things that I loved individually.
Yeah.
And yet it just feels like someone has the most beautiful jigsaw puzzle, and they're putting they're just shoving the pieces into the wrong spot. Yeah. And so the pieces are still gorgeous and they're so well realized, and the CGI Luke looks so much better, but the puzzle just isn't quite gelling together properly.
Yeah. It's like it wasn't cut properly. You know, when you do a puzzle and there's the one piece that's like, it looks like it fits here, but it's been cut in a weird way, and it literally won't. Like, it's not working. And I think that is tragic. I honestly think that is tragic because there's so much good in here, but but we can't not talk about what this means for the show and for Star Wars and for fans of it.
And for Mandalorian Season 3 when it comes back. I'm not as concerned. Here's the thing. Mandalorian was like one of the biggest things on the world, right? Yeah. I'm not as concerned about people watching Book of Boba Fett and not having seen Mandalorian. I am more concerned about people watching Mandalorian Season 3 and having not had an interest in the Book of Boba Fett.
Well, yeah, like they didn't watch it and they're going to start it up and be like, well,
because a lot of people watched Mandalorian because it wasn't based on anything old.
Yeah.
Obviously, like, it pulls in old stuff in Season 2, but people got into the Mandalorian because it was new Star Wars that wasn't attached to anything, and it got to be its own thing.
Yeah, it had moments that, like, drew from things, but they weren't essential.
In Season 1. In Season 2, they are.
Yes.
Well, yeah, that's a whole other conversation. But those people who didn't want to watch Book of Boba Fett because, no, I just kind of want new Star Wars. This is for, like, the legacy fans. These are for the people who've been watching it since the beginning. I'm going to skip this one. I'll come back for Mandalorian Season 3. They're going to start Mandalorian Season 3 and be like, wait, we're not going to pay off anything that happened at the end of Season 2? Oh, you're telling me it did get paid off? It got paid off in 2 episodes near the end of a season that I didn't watch? I do think that is a problem for Disney's we want everyone to watch everything strategy, because not everyone is going to watch everything.
Not everyone has the time or the interest to do that. And yeah, it's unfortunate. I think we can talk about like the individual things in the episode. I think,
this episode's fantastic.
Yeah, it being it's such a puzzle that doesn't work is whatever, but
it's such a weird thing though, right?
Yeah.
Because this episode is fantastic. Right from the opening moments when Din is lands on the I can't pull the planet name. The planet where Luke's temple was.
Yeah.
And R2-D2 is waiting for him. And, like, I'm freaking out.
Yeah.
And then he, like, walks to this, to see the temple that we've seen burning in the flashbacks, in the Rashomon sequences of The Last Jedi. It's there being built by these ant droids, which is the most ineffective.
They're so slow, and they take, like, a brick at a time.
And they do one brick. Like, I was like, this is hilarious.
Yeah.
But, like, who designed this? You need, like, 1,000 droids. If you had, like, 3 really good droids that could do, like, 10 bricks at a time, it would go so much faster.
Yeah, it was a choice. It was for fun, I guess.
And the problem with those droids is that once you're done, like, once it's built, wait, what do you do with it? You have so many droids.
I mean, I guess they, like, forage, maybe? Maybe they're, like, multi-purpose
okay,
droids.
so then they become, like, the food gatherers? Okay, maybe. I can see that.
I don't know. I don't know how far... Yeah, I don't know how much expansion Luke plans to do, right? Maybe he builds a small town.
Well, he does, right? We see that there are huts around it. Like, eventually, that does grow. They seem like highly inefficient.
Yeah, I agree.
A lot of energy used for a very, very slow building process.
Yeah, but they were fun to watch. It was very cool, funny. Yeah. Din trying to talk to them. R2-D2 shutting off.
And then they build a bench. Like, the bench is so funny.
Yeah, they're like, nah, you're going to be waiting a while. Take a seat.
Yeah.
And then...
we get Luke and Grogu.
Yes.
Cut to Luke and Grogu.
Yeah.
And Grogu's trying to get that sweet, sweet frog in its sweet, sweet mouth. And we talked last week, you did not expect to see Grogu this episode.
No, I thought this was Boba Fett's show. And I was mistaken. The title is a little bit misleading. But that's okay.
We left the salt in the beginning of... We're moving on.
We're moving on. Got to see Baby Yoda, which was so fun. He looks fantastic.
He does, yeah.
The effects and the puppet, like, still...
The way he moves in this episode was really impressive. Because the movement in Season 1 was a little bit of a struggle. Like, he was a pretty still character. And even like the jumping on the rocks, like it looks pretty good to me.
Yeah, looks good. But yeah, he's very motivated by food, and Luke like opens his eyes. He's like, Grogu. He's like,
Grogu.
God damn it.
And then he raises all of the frogs out to be like, it's not just the one frog. Look at the community of frogs.
Look what I can do.
You're gonna kill their dad.
Wow. Okay.
He's trying to teach Grogu a lesson about the community, about the circle of life.
Well, what I liked so much about this episode was that it was Luke learning how to be a teacher as well as Grogu learning to be the student.
And that Luke doesn't look bad.
Yeah, he looks so
Thank
good.
God.
Like, I'm blown away.
Because here's the thing. My thing with Luke is I didn't mind the Mandalorian stuff. But he didn't move very much. He was really still. He was just kind of there, right?
His face was just like a little rigid, which, fine. It still looked great.
Didn't bug me. I really enjoyed that part of the episode. My concern moving forward was that he was going to be a part of the show and that he'd be moving and doing things and it'd look weird. It would look weird. And this episode, I was like, oh, give me a whole show. The uncanny valley for me is kind of gone on that one. I'm so in. He sounds great. He looks great. Would I still love to see Sebastian Stan play him? Yes. But like I'm here for this version, and it is really working for me. Yeah,
there were a couple moments where it definitely hit the stunt double face.
Oh, in the jumping,
jumping and stuff. But like the moment where he puts Grogu on his back, like he did with Yoda, and is running through the jungle.
Oh, I cried. I mean, you saw me. Yes, I
want to say first of all, David was not okay during this episode. He was screaming, he was crying, he was jumping up and down and like running around the living room, and I wish I was exaggerating.
I lost my mind a couple of times.
Yeah.
When the first one was Luke, obviously.
Yeah.
Even more so than anything else. It was just seeing him and then when the first time I started to cry was when Ahsoka turns to Din and says that she's a friend of the family. It wrecked me. Like, it genuinely wrecked me. And, like, that's one of those things that means literally nothing to people who haven't watched Clone Wars or Rebels. But, like, as someone who has gone on that journey for over 11 seasons of television with that character, I was destroyed.
Yeah.
Because I know, right? Like, and like, you know, and you don't know because you've never seen Clone Wars, but like...
No, but I know the connection.
No.
But I wasn't on the journey of it, right?
But no, it's where it ends with them.
Okay.
Like, you can't get... oh my God. Like, until you get to their final moment together, her and Anakin's final moments together, and there's a couple of different ones, but like, it's wild. Yeah. It's so wild. And that just was like a dagger. It was literally a dagger through me, just her saying that. And then when she I think at the end of the later in the episode she says like, you're so much like your father, and I was just like
yeah.
Wild. Broke me. Did me.
Yeah, but we get this lovely montage with Luke teaching Grogu. And
let's go for a walk, and he's just lifting him up every few steps.
Yeah.
He's so cute, and Grogu's like,
But the moment, like when Ahsoka like takes Din and like they can like she like shows them through the trees. Like there's Grogu, there's Luke. She's like, you can go, but like, who are you doing this for? And kind of like manipulates and talks him out of like going to see Grogu.
I don't think it's manipulative. I think that from Ahsoka's point of view, Jedi with attachments are dangerous.
Which she knows firsthand.
Right. And so I don't think that she's manipulating him. I think that she is very much presenting him with an honest choice. But I don't think she's manipulating him. I think that she's presenting the side of it that he hasn't thought of yet. And I don't think she's doing that maliciously, right? And no. It's like when he's like, why are you comfortable with Luke training him when you're not? And she said, because it's their choice. I don't control the wills of others. But I will give you the information that I think that you should have. And so I wouldn't say that it's manipulative. I would just say that it's very she's very honest with him. And she totally gives him a choice, right? Like, it's not like she doesn't lie to him, which is why I don't think it's manipulative.
Right.
I don't think presenting all of the information is manipulation and then letting people choose their own path. I think disguising the information to feature to suit your needs is more manipulation. Right? And I'm not just saying that because Ahsoka's my favorite character. I think she's very honest with him in this moment.
Yeah.
But brutally so. You know, I think she definitely hurts him. But
yeah.
She knows she needs to.
Yeah, and it was a really sad moment, right? Because Din leaves her with the armor and goes.
And then I thought we were going to cut away. Nope. We just stay on this planet because this show is now the Grogu and Luke show. As Luke sets up the training module
droid
from the Millennium Falcon.
Yeah.
Not the exact one, because we know that one is still on the Millennium Falcon in The Force Awakens, because Finn holds it up, but a similar one. And I was like, are we about to watch Grogu get shot? And then we did.
Yeah, and he flew. His tiny body was flown like 3 feet.
And then Grogu starts training with the droid, and I was like, this is the most delightful thing I've ever watched.
Yeah, it was very cute. But
we get the interchange between Luke and Ahsoka, where she's like, well, what are you going to do? And he's like, I don't know. I don't think his heart's in it. And this all leads... Let's just finish with this storyline. Because I know this time's at the end of the episode, but let's finish with the storyline. Luke essentially sits Grogu down and says, like, you can either take the Beskar armor or you can take the lightsaber. You have to choose one.
Yeah.
And what do you think the choice is going to be?
I think he's going to choose the Beskar.
You do?
Yeah.
You don't think he's going to become a Jedi?
No.
Like his father before him?
No.
I don't know. Do you think Luke drops off Grogu next episode? He's like, he's yours now?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Because The Mandalorian is not the show that it is without Baby Yoda.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
I just mean, do you think... And
I think Din is going to have to keep him safe, right? Like, they're going to have to...
Oh, they clearly made the N1 Starfighter with a Grogu hole.
Yes.
Like, it's very clearly the Grogu hole.
Literally.
But do you think that happens next episode, or do you think that happens in season 3 of The Mandalorian? Do you think we see Luke and Grogu again in the next episode?
Season? Oh, no.
Or is that how, like, season 3 of The Mandalorian starts, is with Luke tracking down Din to give him...
Yeah, I think it's going to be more that. I don't think Baby Yoda is going to be there for this end finale.
So you don't think Baby Yoda takes the lightsaber?
No.
Okay. I don't know. It could go either way. This show has been so wild and all over the place. It literally could go any direction. I don't know.
Yeah, that's fair.
So then we do finally get back to Tatooine, and we finally see Boba Fett. It felt like it had been a minute.
Yeah, he gets a scene.
The mods are there. Black Chrysanthemum's there, and Fennec Shand. They're having a meeting. Boba Fett does not get any lines, but he's there. And
does he have no lines at all?
I don't think so. Because I saw a really great tweet where someone was like. Someone was joking about how everyone was complaining that Boba Fett was so different from the original trilogy. And they're like, well, episode 6 takes him back because he has 6 seconds of screen time and no lines.
Yeah, seriously.
So they're having a meeting about the plan. And Fennec Shand is like, we got Black Chrysanthemum and the Mandalorian, so we got all the muscle we need. And then like 3 lines later is like, but we're going to need more numbers. And I was like, I don't know what that meant. But okay, cool.
Yeah.
I guess you have all the muscle, but you need a bunch of...
They need bodies.
People?
They need it to look.
I would say you need more muscle then.
I don't know.
Generally, you're not like, okay, we have 2 warriors. We just kind of need cardboard cutouts to fill this out and we'll be good. Like, they need more muscle. And then Mandalorian immediately goes to find more fighters. The we just have all the muscle we need line was super weird.
And isn't that what happened in Blazing Saddles? Isn't that what they do? Is it a bunch of cardboard?
I mean, there's so...
Yeah.
Is it Blazing Saddles? I haven't seen Blazing Saddles in like a decade.
Would never get made now.
I don't know about that. I don't think it would get made by the people who made it, but I could see that movie being made.
You don't think Mel Brooks would...
I think that if like Blazing Saddles was made now, I could see a black director making the same script. Yeah, I just don't think that Mel Brooks would direct that movie now.
That, you know what? Yeah. That's
you know what I mean? Like I could see a black comedian director take that and do something with it. That would be really interesting. Yeah. I just think that if a white person were to direct that movie now, it would be very different, right?
Yeah, for sure. Anyway, sorry, sidetrack. You were like cardboard cutouts of... Never mind.
But yeah, so Mandalorian is like, okay, so we don't need more muscle, but we do. So I just found that whole scene very, just kind of like...
It wasn't clear. It was like, we should probably throw Boba Fett in here so that like it's not 2 whole episodes without him.
But we need the rest of this episode to still be Din's episode. Yeah. I was like, why doesn't Boba Fett just go get Cobb Vanth? It's the book of Boba Fett.
I don't know.
And also,
I don't know.
Like, they both know him.
Yeah.
I guess that Boba Fett and Cobb Vanth don't have as good a relationship. It doesn't matter. What does matter is that Din goes to see Cobb Vanth, and
it's like, hey, those spice runners.
First, he runs into his deputy, which is I was told the stunt coordinator on the show. So I love that this show. I love that the Book of Boba Fett has given so many behind the scenes people on camera roles.
Yeah.
Because Black Chrysanthemum is a makeup artist, who just happens to be that tall. And so those eyes are that makeup artist's eyes. That makeup artist is crushing the role.
Whoa.
Like really, really selling the like physicality of Black Chrysanthemum.
That's very cool.
This is a stunt coordinator, and there was someone else. There was another piece that was part that was given to But I love featuring people who make this stuff. You know what I mean? Like not just the actors, but people behind the scenes make Star Wars. Yeah. You know what I mean? There's so many creators. It's like how they had directors as the X-Wing pilots in season 2 of Mandalorian. I live for that stuff. I love it so much.
Oh, the pilot. When that's the other role. The other pilot is the Luke.
Right, the other pilot is the Luke stunt double.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Or in season, and before that, the pilots in season 2 season 1. The pilots in season 1 of Mandalorian were all directors. It was Ken Fukunaga.
I love
I can't remember who Dave Filoni's one of them.
Yeah, that's really fun.
So then he goes to see Cobb Vanth and he's like, hey, I need you. And Cobb Vanth is like, we're square, but I'll see what I can do. Because at the beginning of this episode, oh my God, the actual beginning of this episode is Cobb Vanth takes out the Spice Runners.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it was a quick scene, but
that's great. Because it shows,
it sets it up, right?
Cobb Vanth bookends this episode with Cobb Vanth being the best and Cobb Vanth not being the best.
Yeah, right? He takes him out, no problem. He's like, I'm sure that you just got lost, but no more spice through here. And the what does he say? That the chest is worth more than like the entire town, yeah. And he just dumps it out.
Yeah, because you don't want to be a drug dealer.
No. He's like, he gets rid of it.
Cobb Vanth is a good man.
Yeah, and I think that was a great setup. That you're right.
And very Western. It like very much feeds into those like old Western tropes.
Well, and then later on, Din leaves, and Cobb Vanth is like, all right, gather everybody up. We're gonna have a meeting.
Well, and what I appreciate about it is he's like, dude, we can't. And then Din is like, I'm asking a favor, but I understand.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not going to try and push you. I'm not going to offer you anything.
Yeah.
He's not like, he's not like, oh, I'll just pay you more. Mm-hmm. Because he knows it's an integrity thing, right? He knows it's not about money. It's about like integrity. Mm-hmm. And I think that he also knows, Cobb Vanth knows more than he knows. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And so he straight up is like, all right, well, if you change your mind. And Cobb Vanth has that information that we saw at the beginning of the episode. And he's like, no, he's right. You know what I mean? Because what Din brings to him in terms of information isn't like, hey, we're going to be screwed without you. It's this will eventually be your fight. And you can either join the numbers now and have a chance or get wiped out later.
Yeah, 100%.
And Cobb Vanth is a smart man, played just so beautifully by Timothy Olyphant, who's just
so attractive.
He's so attractive.
Oh my God. Like, I'm like, how?
Apparently he's described as an elderly man in like Wikipedia. And I was like, is he elderly?
No.
He seems to be in his prime.
Yeah.
Timothy Olyphant has been in his prime for like 30 years, but like he's still in his prime. And then we get I already said his name, but we get the big reveal. The rootinous, tootinous gunslinger comes out of the desert. And the name of the episode is From the Desert Comes a Stranger. Mm-hmm. Who is it, babe?
It's not much of a stranger to you. Mm-hmm. I think this is where you started running around the living room.
I think I told you to shut up.
You did, yeah.
I think I was like because you were talking, I was like, shut up, I have to.
No. I wasn't saying anything.
Were you not speaking?
No, I was like,
I was losing my mind.
Like, and you're like, shut up. And I was like,
I'm sorry. I did not mean anything by that. I hope you know.
No, I know that. It was very funny to me.
I was on another plane of existence.
Oh, I witnessed it. Mm-hmm. Cad Bane.
Cad Bane, my favorite Star Wars villain. My personal favorite Star Wars villain. More than any of them. Cad Bane is... I love him so much, and I've always thought he looked really awesome. I never really thought that he looked like the most horrifying thing ever until this episode. And there's a lot of there's a lot of talk about his real look, right? There's a lot of people who wish he looked a little bit more like the cartoon version, a little bit more blue. I like that he looks fantastic. Older and weathered.
Oh yeah.
And I kind of like that his mouth looks like the mouth of Sauron.
Oh yeah, but I hate that.
Cad Bane shows up, and I was so unbelievably into it. This version of him is so scary, and I hated it, and I loved that I hated it so much. And it was just, like I said, the structure of the show has been kind of all over the place, but it's still amazing to me for moments like this, because I did not think we were getting live action Cad Bane this season, and we are. and he looks so good, and he smirks. He murks the deputy and Cobb Vanth, not breaking a sweat. He is so cool, and I am so happy.
Well, and the funniest part is that Cobb Vanth, like, probably, like, would have been okay if his deputy hadn't been there to fuck it up for him.
Well, maybe, and also Cobb Vanth hasn't agreed to anything at that point.
Yeah.
You know, and Cobb Vanth does say, like, I think up until that point, Cobb Vanth was on the fence. He was going to let the town decide. In that, he does say, like, Tatooine's closed for business. Like, we're not doing this.
Yeah, 100%.
But what I really appreciate was Cad Bane doesn't come to him like, I'm going to kill you if you join.
Like, stay out of it.
We'll pay you to stay out of it. Boba Fett is a killer. Boba Fett worked for the Empire. Boba Fett is a bad, bad man. You don't want to work for Boba Fett.
Yeah.
And he's not wrong.
Yeah.
Like, everything he's saying is true, right? Yeah. Boba Fett is so bad that Darth Vader had to tell him not to disintegrate people. Right? Like, his reputation is that. Mm-hmm. And so Cad Bane is in no way wrong here.
Yeah.
And it was deliciously beautiful. And we talked earlier in the season about how, like, oh, Black Chrysanthemum's on their side now. That sucks. I wanted Black Chrysanthemum to be Boba Fett's big fight at the end of the season. Mm-hmm. This is so much better than Black Chrysanthemum being the big fight at the end of the season. And I hope that we get the one-on-one Boba Fett v. Cad Bane, and we do not get... I hope we get the moment from the Clone Wars that was supposed to happen, where everyone's like, all right, Boba, this is your shot.
Is it just gonna be a 20-minute standoff until one of them pulls their gun?
That would be the best version of this finale. Everybody gathers around, and then nobody does anything except the two of them, and then pew. It would be so good. It would be so good. Go full Western. You know what I mean? Like, lean hard into the tropes of the two of them at dawn. Have, like, the beginning of the episode have a bunch of explosions and stuff, and, like, the lead up, right?
Yeah.
And then after that, have both sides realize they're taking too many losses, and so it comes down to but they parlay, they decide it's going to come down to Boba Fett v. Cad Bane.
Yeah.
And that's how you end it on Boba Fett, so that it's Boba Fett's ending and not a big fight at the end with everybody, so it's everybody's victory. It really does become Boba Fett's victory at the end of his show, finally.
Yeah.
You're not super, you're like on the fence about it.
Yeah. Well, I told you, I was like, this just kind of feels like pure, like, fan service-y. And then, you know, if you know, you know, and you explained that there was supposed to be this whole thing between Cad Bane and Boba Fett and whatever, and I was like, okay, cool, I can see why they did that in there. But yeah, as somebody who, like, didn't really know what was going on, like, I'd seen him in Bad Batch, but I didn't really, like...
Well, in that he fights Fennec Shand, which is interesting, who's also going to be in the finale.
Yeah. So I don't know, I was like... Yeah. I was like, okay, this is fine. I have no problem with it. He looks great. Mm-hmm. But... Yeah, I mean, I didn't have any kind of reaction to it because it didn't really mean much to me.
But that's fine, right? Yeah. Like, that doesn't make it bad.
Yeah.
Because you don't have to have a reaction to everything that shows up immediately, right? I think that it will be dependent on how he's used in the next episode, whether or not it was worth having him in the show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a really interesting finale. I don't know if I love the whole, like, Western standoff, but you know what? Like, they could make it work. There has been really phenomenal stuff in Mandalorian 3.0, so I'm enjoying it.
How on a scale of, like, 1 to 10, how sad are you that Garsa Fwip might be dead?
I don't think she's dead. You
think she survived the explosion?
Yeah, I hope so.
The real question for all you real ones out there, for all you, like, deep Star Wars fans, the real question is, did Max Rebo survive again?
Yes, absolutely.
Because he's not in. I don't think he's in the sanctuary when it blows up. We do not see him in a shot, but
no, he's alive. Don't worry.
He somehow survived the sail barge explosion. Like, if Max Rebo keeps dodging explosions, good for you, Max Rebo.
Crushing it.
Good for you, you little elephant. No arms, foot playing pianist.
Oh man, our spoiler chat's gonna look so different next week.
Yeah, we're gonna be in LA. It's gonna be crazy.
Yeah.
And it's the finale, which is so weird. Come join us for that. I don't have much else to say about this episode. It's just good. Like, I don't know. It's great. I enjoyed it, but it also is like a weird episode of the show.
Yeah, agreed.
And this show has been so strange, and I don't know why.
Because it's not
like they have all the creative freedom in the world, and this is what they did. And like it's great. It's like really well made, but it's so confusing.
Yeah, it has shortcomings.
Yeah,
sure, which we've talked about, but
yeah.
Let us know what you think is gonna happen in the finale. in the comments. Like let us know where you think this is going.
Where do you think it's going?
I don't know. I could definitely see it being a Western standoff, or I can the thing about this show is that I don't really understand where it's supposed to go. Yeah. So yeah, Luke and Grogu might show up and just win the day for everybody. I don't know. I
hope it's not that.
Me too.
I also hope nobody else is introduced. We have enough characters.
Yes,
we have enough. I don't want any other surprise reveals. We have all the pieces that we need for. I don't need Bo-Katan to come be a part of the final fight. You know, we have all the pieces that we need for this. Just kind of keep it to these people.
Yeah.
So that people get their time. I'm already worried the mods are the mods. I don't know what they're introduced to be there.
Yeah.
But they better do something really cool in the finale, or else all they have is that chase sequence.
And it's not good.
And I like them, right? I like Dresh, and I want to know more about her. Mm-hmm. I wish his show had been more about them and their relationship with Boba. I wish the last episodes had really dived into Mos Espa.
Yeah, me too.
But we got what we got, and I like it. It's so weird. It's so weird to this feeling inside.
So sudden and new.
So sudden and new. If you like this video, I don't know if you would.
Somebody will like this video, right?
Can
we get 1 like on this video?
Can we get one that isn't us liking our own video?
If we get 1 like on this video, we'll go to Disneyland.
If we get 1 like on this video, we'll do another one next week. If you don't like this video, hit the dislike button. That's fine. We totally understand. But we like to cry. It's cathartic for us. So please make us cry by disliking this video and leaving mean comments in the comments down below. As always, you can follow us around the internet. I'm at Nerdy Nightly.
I'm at Clara's Polaris.
Do something nerdy tonight, you dang nerds.
Bye.